Hi everybody and welcome to my spring 2022 late start BIOL32 environmental science lab class. I'm Megan Knoll, I'm your instructor, and let's talk about how this class is going to run. So, okay, good. So what you need to do is make sure that you have access to Canvas. Let me see. Okay, so everything's going to happen through Canvas. This class is completely asynchronous, which means that when it starts on the 28th of March, right after spring break, hopefully you had a great spring break, you're going to make sure that you can log into Canvas. So go to Logo Apps on the MPC website. Hopefully you know all about Canvas by now, but if not, it's all good. Nice little introduction. You're going to log in. Let's see how long it takes. Good stuff. Good. That's good. This is great for recording. Okay, cool. And you're going to see that if you... Okay, so I don't know if mine looks exactly like yours, but there's a lot of helpful things on the Lobo apps that you'll be using in this class. The first one being Canvas. The others being your email, because you're going to get lots of emails from me saying, hey, here's what we're doing this week. Here's a video for this week, etc. You'll also get, that was my cat making a weird noise. You'll also need to use Drive sometimes because we're going to be using a lot of Google Docs to do our assignments. And don't worry, you're going to get lots of instructions on it, so I'll walk you through it all step by step, no problem. But let's start in Canvas. So when you open up Canvas, what Canvas is our learning management system, which is where we provide all of our class materials as professors at MPC. A lot of different colleges use Canvas if they don't use Blackboard or something else. All the classes that you have registered for that have active classes will open up. You'll see the only two I'm teaching right now are Anatomy and Biology 32. So let's open that up. And when you open up the screen, you're going to get the home page, which is the page you're going to do everything through, okay? Don't worry about any of this stuff on the side. Blah, 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 unless you want to, obviously you can look at your grades, obviously, but the easiest way to navigate this class is to just go down to the date that you're concerned with. So obviously we're starting this from the very beginning and just start straight from the beginning. So this video I'm making you right now is going to be linked to this course orientation spot here. And it's also going to be linked here at the beginning of each week. There'll be a video that explains all of your activities for the week. Because since this is an asynchronous class, you're not going to have to come to lectures on Zoom or in person because I am actually living at Los Angeles, and so it makes it a little hard of a commute. And so instead you'll be getting your lectures online. All the materials will be posted by Sunday night of the week before they're due. So for example, there's 3 things you're going to do this week, 3 modules within this week. One is just the orientation to make sure you have access to Canvas and email and everything. Then you're going to talk about how to measure things and then how to graph things. Okay, so all of these things are due by April 3rd at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so it doesn't matter when you do them, as long as you get them done by Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. If something happens and let's say access is a problem or something, just send me an email. I'm very happy to talk at any time. I don't have set office hours, but if you just send me an email, I am obsessive about checking my email and will respond very quickly. And if you need extensions, if you want to talk to me over Zoom personally, highly recommend doing that. Then just we can set up a time and I'll send you a link and we can chat over Zoom. So each week you're going to get a video at the beginning of each week, and then you're just going to click on the modules and work through them, okay? So for example, when you click on module 1, it's going to walk you through everything for this class, okay? Or at least for this week of this class. And this is a little big. Let me make it fit a little bit better. Here we go. Okay, so every week, every module will start with the overview for the week, so what you're doing for this week, and then just when you're done with each thing, just click next and you're ready to go. That's all you have to do, okay? So here is how to succeed in this course. Make sure you read this over so that you can make sure you're prepared to be your best self for this class, or at least your best self that you need to be for this class, okay? So for example, there are assignments on here that you're not going to be able to do on a phone, on a mobile phone or an iPad. You're going to actually need a computer. If you need one, you can get one from the library, okay, or you can access the computers in the library if you're on campus. You also, you'll be getting announcements or emails, so you might want to set up alerts so that you get them in a timely manner. Yeah, so make sure, I will always be talking to y'all through either these lectures or through emails, and I'll be posting emails. I'll be sending emails to say, hey, a new thing is posted, the new week has started, or oops, this assignment doesn't work, let's do it in a different way, etc. Okay, so ongoing communication is key for this class. Now, I'm not going to read every single one of these modules because part of your assignment is to go through this. I will, there's another video where I talk about the specific parts of the syllabus that you should really pay attention to, so make sure you do that. Let's see what else. So the orientation module just walks you through all of these things that you need to make sure you have so that you're successful for the class. They do it in a lot more detail than I am going to do right now, because again, some of these things are things you've already done if you're a veteran student, and some of these things are things that you might be new to you if you're a new student or if you're new to online learning, and you just take the time to go through and read them, okay? There are ways to go ahead and you can do text to speak if you need to. If you want to like be listening to it, you can totally set that up. Here's where you should ask. Part of your assignment is you're going to be, part of the assignment for this week is there will be little instructions within the module. So do make sure you read every page of the module. You're not just zipping through it, because there will be things that I grade. Okay. So this is the lounge where you can talk to your classmates about, did you do this thing? Or, hey, do you want to do this project together? Etc. Etc. Do not keep in mind that I can read it. Be nice. Okay. But when you get to the like first assignments, when you see assignments, they're going to say things like this. Okay. So for example, you got this video in an email originally. And so your first assignment for this class is, I sent you a, how do you know it's an email? Oh, it says rubric. It says it's due, and then, so you will just follow these instructions. Okay. Just reply to my email. Tell me some things. Send me a picture of your dog. Whatever. Okay. So go through the modules for this week and answer any question, or answer the questions that are posted. When you do, when you do these assignments, you may have to. It may send you back to the home page when you're done with assignments. I'm not exactly sure. Just then click back on the module and it'll pop you back in, and then you can just go ahead to wherever you need to be. Okay. So for the first, and do you have this? I think you do have this. If you need to, you can pop to modules and it'll show where you are. Okay, so what have you actually done? What have you, okay, whatever. So here's the assignments for this week. I'll be grading those individually. And then there's some NPC resources. At the end of each module, it'll say, end of blah module. Okay, so end of course orientation. You're done with it. Yay. And then you can go back to the home page and say, well, is that the only module I need to do this week? Oh, no, I also need to do the measuring one. I also need to do the graphing one. Okay, so then once you get to the end, you won't be able to access the next week until the next week starts. Okay, so because I'm doing it week by week, so it's not too overwhelming. If for some reason you're going to be gone a week and you want to get ahead, just let me know and I will give you access to those things early. The syllabus talks about late work and that kind of thing. Let's quickly look at the measurements assignment. So science is all about measuring. So half of science is just as my dad likes to say, who's a computer programmer and a psychologist, oh, science is mostly grunt work. Okay, cool, but it's for a good reason. So in order to, whenever we are collecting facts, one of the best ways to present your facts to someone is to say you measured them. You can't just say, okay, goodbye, later. You can't just say, oh, I just know it because I have a feeling. No. If you're going to quantify and express natural phenomenon, you have to be able to do it in some sort of measurable way. Okay, so go through and read this. We talk about this class. Environmental science talks a lot about the interplay of biotic, which are living, and non-living or abiotic processes. So for example, in California, we have a certain kind of soil called serpentinite, where it's toxic to any plant that didn't evolve in California. Okay, so our ecosystems are very, very specific to specific places in California because they evolved to live here. And other plants, sometimes if you have a garden, it's really hard to get certain things to grow. You have to add a whole lot of things to your soil or amend the soil in order for something that hasn't evolved here to grow. Okay, so that is, okay, so here's some basic scientific hypotheses. our scientific process stuff. All right, so for this the first part of this lab, so remember this class is a lab. You're going to be doing a lot of things hands-on. You're going to be taking measurements. You're going to be graphing things. You're going to be taking observations. And a big part of this class that I really want to emphasize is how to take observations of the natural world, because that's kind of my jam. It's kind of my big part of who I am as a science instructor, as a science educator. So I teach high school also. That's why I live in Los Angeles. And it's just become very apparent that things are very different now than when I was a kid and just was in the dirt all the time looking for bugs and squirrels and weird plants. So a lot of people just don't go outside. It's not as safe anymore, and climate change is an issue. There's just way more people on the planet, so it's a bit not always as safe for little kids to just be running around neighborhoods. And so there's a lost art to nature observations. Now, if you're in this class, you may already do a lot of nature observations. That's why you took this class, because you're like, well, I already do environmental science. I want to major in this, or I'm a marine biology student and I want to go into this. Cool. Then that just means you'll have a chance to show off what you already know. Okay. So we always start with kind of the basics of measuring, okay? So in this part of the lab, you're going to measure length, volume, and mass of just anything you have in your house. And for all the lab stuff, just make sure you read the protocols really carefully, carry out the instructions very carefully, and then if there's a discussion component where you're going to be graded on it, make sure you do that. Okay, so read through your lab, and you're going to be looking at a ruler. So make sure, hopefully we have a ruler somewhere. Like I just have a random ruler. I usually have a random ruler because I like to draw things, and so I have it at a straight edge. You might have to go and get a ruler. They're nice and cheap. If the other thing you'll want to do is you're going to be measuring mass. So if you have a scale, like a kitchen scale or a bathroom scale, that'll be very helpful. If you don't, if you just want to send me a note and say, look, I can't do this part because I don't have a scale, just let me know. And then a thermometer. So hopefully everyone has a thermometer of some kind, because after COVID, everyone went crazy checking their temperatures, etc. If you don't have a thermometer, this again, if you're going to go buy a ruler anyway, which you're going to need for this class, definitely pick up a nice thermometer as well. And we'll talk about this. Okay, keep on going, read this. Okay, one of the things we really do a lot in this class is we talk about data tables, and so you're going to be making yourself a data table, okay? So go through, this is the lab where you're going to run the lab, work the lab, and then you're going to create a data table. So you're going to do this in a Google Doc, and it's going to show you how to do this. So it actually was in the last one. Previous. Okay, so you're going to make yourself a data table. So if you just click on this, it opens it up for you. Okay, go ahead and make yourself a copy of this assignment. Okay, so if you go up to File, let me move this. Go up to File, and then go to Make a Copy, and then save it to your own drive. Okay, so that way you can, it's yours, no one's going to copy over it, it's not going to be lost, etc. And then you can add your information to it. Okay, and then when you're ready to share it, when you're ready to turn it in, all you do is, okay, you follow the lab, you do the instructions. So this is your data table. It's where you literally write down your information. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, then when you turn it in, just follow these instructions. Okay, you're going to click the share button. So up here is share, and then you're going to make sure I can see it. So make sure the settings are set to anyone can view, and then copy the URL is to copy link, and you're going to submit it here. You should see, since I'm the instructor, I don't see it, but you should see a submitting a place where you can submit the document, and then I'll get it. Okay. And then you're like, cool, what do I do next? And then you're going to learn about accuracy versus precision. Because if you did your measurements really quickly, were you accurate? If you use 3 different rulers, is that precise? What's the difference? So accuracy is how well, you read this and you're going to find out all about accuracy and precision. They're 2 very important things. Let's watch this video. It's very nice. And then you're going to take a real quick little quiz that says, did you actually watch the video? Do you know the difference between accuracy and precision? Then you're going to, here's a bit more if you want to go and learn a little bit more about accuracy and precision. If there's anything, if you want to redo an assignment, just let me know, and maybe I'll reset it for you, and you can. Especially at the beginning of a course, it's nice to, a lot of times you don't know how your professor is going to grade, so it's nice to have the option to redo things if you need to. Then you're going to reflect on it. Every module, usually at the end, you're going to reflect on what you did, because one of the best things you can do in science is say, hey, what did I do anyway? And did I do it right? And I noticed this, and you can't can't really be wrong on reflections. It's just a literally talk about your process. If you're someone who likes to journal, this is exactly what this is. You're just reflecting on your process, okay? And then what is next? You're done. That's the end of measurement, okay? The last module for this week is on graphing. And let me tell you, graphing and how to use Google Sheets was one of the most useful things I learned in school. I didn't learn it until I was almost graduated from college, and it is literally the best thing I ever learned. I use it all the time. Okay, so you're going to again open up a Google Sheet, and you're going to put in some information, follow this information, and it's going to show you how to make a graph. Okay, so follow the directions, make yourself a graph. You're going to follow this instruction. You're going to make another graph. It's going to show you how to find the mean and the standard deviation. So the mean is the average. The standard deviation is how far away is everything from the average. Because if you have, let's say you're doing average shoe size, and you look at everyone from like a toddler to someone who is 65, that your average might be, I don't know, 6, but the standard deviation is huge because you're going from something really big to something really small, and so the standard deviation is going to be huge. But if your stuff kind of sits together, like it's very accurate and precise, then you're going to have a small standard deviation. So in science, we like to see small standard deviations, or at least that the standard deviation between two different things don't overlap. That means it's significant, and we're always looking for significance in science. Oh, significance. Okay, so then you're going to learn how to make a different kind of graph, the bar graph. So line graphs, which you saw in the last thing, tell us how something changes over time. Bar graphs just compare different things, okay? So that you can't use a line graph if you're comparing different populations. You use a bar graph instead, okay? So that's what a bar graph is for. Boop, boop, boop. And then you're going to submit your assignment. There's a nice little quiz where you're going to talk about the study you just did. Okay, so yes, look back at your assignment. This is not a proctored quiz. Look at it and answer the questions. Okay, it's not a trick. I promise it's not a trick. You have all the answers. And then there's a couple more resources. Some of these I took from one of my colleagues who also teaches this class, because he already did a good job of doing it, so I wasn't going to redo it. Y'all learn how to use your resources. And then he also provided this, one nice thing to use Google Docs for outside of school is keeping a budget. So here is how if you want to do, maybe I'll make this an extra credit assignment. If you want to do your budget and send that to me as extra credit, I am not going to judge you, y'all. Literally, I have 3 jobs. That's how rough it is. So if you want to send this to me, then I'll give you extra credit for it. And then reflect. And so if it's reflection time, you know that means it's the end of the module. And that's it. That's all you have to do for this week. All you have to do. It seems like a lot when you get started, but once you just get rolling, it actually does. It goes pretty fast. Just make sure you give yourself enough time. I would definitely, if I was a student taking this class, I would say, well, I'm going to take 1 day just to do the course orientation. And then maybe I'll wait a day, and then I'll do the measurement on like Wednesday. And then I'm going to wait another day, and maybe I'll do this on Friday or Saturday. And that gives me, make sure I'm not waiting till the very last day when things can go wrong and maybe Megan isn't available to like answer my questions. Oh no. And so big tip, don't wait till Sunday to do everything. You might not have enough time. And yeah, so again, because this is an asynchronous course, it's up to you to decide when to do things, which can be great, or it can be very annoying if you're someone who has trouble scheduling things. So if you want to talk to me, send me an email, or we'll do a Zoom chat about how to schedule your time to make sure you're doing everything properly. Totally fine. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to say for this video for this week. Welcome to the course. I'm very glad you're here. If you have any friends who want to add to the course, just let them, have them send me an email. There's still plenty of room in the class, and I'm happy y'all are here. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Bye.